So the question is this: how do coaches, experts, and thought leaders create a sustainable 6 or 7 figure coaching business, all while having fun and changing lives? If you want to know the secrets to getting leads on demand, getting paid whatever you desire for the clients you serve, and changing their lives every single day, this is the right podcast for you.
I'm Sterling Griffin, and this is the Life Changer Podcast.
High Ticket Fitness Sales Mastery Part 1, 5 tips you need to close more clients. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Life Changer Show. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking with you about 5 main things that you can implement into your sales process to close more juicy online training deals. I'm talking 4K, 8K, 14K online training deals. You are going to love these strategies, even if you're coming to me today with no or very little experience. So without any further ado, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get more value when I drop it, and let's get into it. Number 1, set the frame hard. See, one thing that I notice in having trained now over 1,100 trainers to grow their online training business and to close more sales is that a lot of them can start the call in one of 2 ways. They can start the call by being really soft, by, hey, how's it going? How's your family? How's your wife? How's your husband? How's everything going? Oh, let's just chat for 5 or 10 minutes, and then one day we'll actually talk about health and fitness. No, that does not work. Why? Because if you don't set the frame hard, then people don't trust you. Because if you're not saying, hey, here's the outcome that I have for this call, one way or the other is okay with me, I just want an answer on whether we're going to work together. When people have the expectation that they are here to make a buying decision, yes or no, then you are able to run the call as an authority, gathering information and setting them up to make an informed decision one way or the other. This is why so many trainers get to the end of a call with a prospect, and the prospect says something like, I'm going to think about it. I would like to, let me just start later. And the reason why they do that is because they haven't been pre-framed properly at the beginning of the call to know they're going to make a decision by the end. So the way that you might set the frame hard, what I mean is you might set the frame with a clear closed container at the beginning of a call is say, hey, so my purpose for this call is for us to figure out if we're a good fit to work together. Now, at the end of this call, I'm going to extend you an offer to work with me if I feel that I can authentically help you reach and permanently reach your fitness goals. Now, what I ask from you is that you make a clear decision, yes or no, on whether that makes sense for you. I'll answer any question you have about the training. I'll answer any question about my history, and I'll happily answer any question about what you feel like you need. And at the same time, my request is that you give me a clear yes, let's work together and issue payment to make that happen, or no, and we decide that we're not going to work together at all. The one thing that I can't accept is a maybe or I'll do it later. And the reason why is because my time is very valuable, and I want to make sure that the time I invest into you is time that will help you decide whether or not this makes sense. I want you to have all your questions answered so that you know the right decision either way. But my request is that you make a clear decision. Does that feel fair to you? So notice in that I'm being very clear about what is okay and what's not okay. I'm telling them this is what I'm asking for, and this is what's not specifically acceptable. Otherwise, I can go through the whole call. I can get so much leverage. I can understand exactly what they want help with, what they've tried before that didn't work, and what their challenges are now. Show them that I'm the clear solution, and they still say maybe, because people are afraid of making decisions because they're afraid of making a mistake. So if you on the front end say, hey, I'm going to answer any questions. We're going to make sure you know what the deal is on the other side. I'm going to ask you to make a clear decision, yes or no. Then they're going to do it. And what I've learned in business is this: a no is totally acceptable. A yes is also, of course, totally acceptable. A maybe is way too much lost energy for both you and the prospect, because you're this kind of in this waiting game. Well, how's it going to turn out a week from now, a month from now? And you never quite get to a decision. That's not the kind of life you want to live. That's not the kind of business you want to run. You want to invest your energy where people are ready to make a decision. Number 2, set the frame softly. Now, after hearing me say set the frame hard in the first tip, you're probably wondering, what do I mean by softly? Well, what I want to talk about is when I was on a coaching call with one of my students earlier this week. His name is Julian. And Julian in his first couple months is already making, I think he did 16,000 he did 16,000 his first month. And then I think he did 20 his second month. 20 or 15 is one of those two. This month, he'll be on track to make well over 20. So he just kind of got in the LCA and he's already doing very well. He's a vegan trainer and works with other vegans. And when I was talking about his sales calls, he was telling me about, here's how I'm opening up my calls. And one thing that keeps coming up is, I'll just make a decision, but later. I started having him, I kind of leaned in a little bit and started to figure out how he was opening his calls. And what I've learned is that Julian made a mistake that I was making so much as a young trainer trying to learn how to sell. And that is to be overly aggressive. There are two kind of ways that you can lean on a spectrum in sales. One is to be too soft and one is to be too hard-nosed and authoritative. And if you're too hard-nosed and authoritative, people start to not really like you. Like they just don't see you as someone friendly or someone they connect with. And Julian obviously is not that way. Anyone who gets to know Julian would be like, this guy's awesome. Like he's super fun, super cool, super driven. But just the way in which he was posturing on a sales call made him feel a little unapproachable. And this is something I did for probably my entire first year in doing online high ticket training sales. So what I told Julian to do is you want to create a clear space where the prospect doesn't feel like you're speaking down to them, but you're speaking to them as an equal. And the person I learned this from was actually Eli Wild. He's a sales trainer, and he talks about these 3 different positions that you can take in a sales call. One is inferior, which is where you're speaking up to the prospect. You are acknowledging them. You are giving them praise. You're talking about how amazing they are. There is equal, which is where you talk to them as a peer. And then there is superior, which is where you're speaking down to them as someone that they need to be led by. What you need to understand is that the more someone is a powerful person, an educated, and let's say ego-centered person, more accomplished person, the more often you need to speak from an equal and an inferior perspective in order to gain their trust and respect. People that are powerful don't like being spoken down to because they don't believe that they deserve that. They have rightfully so earned the feeling of confidence from having accomplished things. So if you want to enroll people that have money, that are more accomplished, that are more driven, then you have to learn to be flexible in how you show up on a sales call so that you can posture in different ways to get more of their connection, respect, and be liked more. So oftentimes, whenever you're talking with somebody powerful, one of the best things that I know to do is be like, hey, I'm really appreciative that you came to this call today. And honestly, my whole job here is to make sure that you feel served. I want to make sure your questions are answered because I know you probably have some. And I want to make sure that you feel confident that whatever decision you're making, it's going to be the best thing for you and for your long-term sustainability within your fitness goals. Does that feel fair? So notice in the way that I'm communicating, my tone is very soft, and I'm also acknowledging and complimenting the person on their decision to show up to the call. Now, I can combine that with what I said in setting the frame hard, and it shows that, first of all, I respect them, but also I'm asking for their respect. I'm not commanding their respect. I'm not demanding their respect, but I'm asking for it. And when I can ask honestly like that from an open place and with gentleness, then I'm going to get way more connection. I'm going to get way more people that feel connected to me as a leader that they want to learn from. Okay. So you have to balance both extremes in sales, both setting the frame hard. So having a clear pre-frame that you're going to make a decision, but then also making sure that they can feel safe, connected to you, and that you're someone that they can learn from. Number 3, create and offer a permanent solution. Too many trainers get on an online high ticket sales call and they will offer a program that's sort of stock or cookie cutter. This is what you see a lot in the industry. Maybe you've kind of subscribed to this where you offer a 12-week program. Why do you offer a 12-week program? Because everybody else offers a 12-week program. And so you think this is what people buy. However, when you offer programs like this, you're really not offering a customized solution for what the prospect actually needs. If instead you evaluated the prospect through your sales call and did an authentic evaluation where at the end you're like, okay, here's the kind of program that I feel you need. You need this level of attention. You need this long of a program. You need this kind of setup for your long-term success based on your needs, based on your goals, based on your desires. If you can do that, then what happens on the other side is people feel way more cared for. They're willing to pay you more money for it, and they are much more likely to buy because they feel that you are actually giving them something that's super custom. It's so rare that people will actually get a custom solution for their online training needs these days. Instead, they get the experience that they just have to buy whatever is available. I'll tell you this, as the industry becomes more diverse, the people that offer more customized solutions are going to be the people that win over the long term. So make sure that your sales process is allowing you to offer what the prospect actually needs, whether that's a year-long program, an 18-month program, even a 2-year program. I have clients that sell 18-month programs all the time because that's what the prospect is going to need to both reach their goal and then get into maintenance around their long-term vision. Number 4, clarify the real decision maker. All right, so this one is going to be fairly obvious to some of you that have been in sales a long time. But whenever you get onto a call, if you want to avoid one of the 3 primary objections, which is spousal, meaning, let me go talk to my wife. Let me go talk to my husband before I make this decision. We always make decisions together. One of the just simple, easy questions that you can ask at the beginning of the call is, hey, just so I know, is there anyone else that would be involved in you making a significant financial decision to solve your health and fitness challenges once and for all? Just that clear. If someone says, no, I make decisions all on my own, my husband supports whatever I decide, then you're good. And what I will do though is I'll confirm that. Okay, so just so I understand, if we get to the end of this call and then I make an offer that you want to purchase from me, then does that mean that you are willing to and able to swipe a card and issue payment today? Then if their answer is yes, you're good to go. If their answer is, well, no, I would still want to run the investment by him before I make a decision, then at that point, you want to stop the call right then and then ask to reschedule at a time when both spouses can be present. One of the easiest ways to avoid the spousal objection is to handle it before it ever comes up. And that means that you're going to sell to both decision makers, spouses and spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, business partner and business partner. Whoever it is, you want to sell to both people at the same time so that they both have all their questions answered, their skepticism eliminated, and their confidence created and ensured. Okay? So make sure you ask that question at the beginning of the call. If you don't, then you are giving the prospect either an opportunity to leave the call because this is how they make decisions, but you're also helping eliminate a smokescreen objection, which is where someone says they need to talk to their wife when really they're just afraid to make a decision or they think it's too much money or whatever else. When they say, yes, I can make the decision on my own, you eliminate that option for them as an objection, and you can confine whatever objection they may have to, I'll think about it, and maybe it's too much money or something like that. Okay. But again, we've already handled the I'll think about it because we've asked them pre-framing to make a decision today. So all they can give us as an objection at the end is price. And we're going to talk about just one way on how you can handle that in the next one. Number 5, the wasted money question. All right, so this one is powerful. There are probably a dozen or so ways that I teach people on how they can handle price. Really, there's probably 3 or 4 primary ways that I teach people on how they can handle a price objection when it comes up on a health and fitness training call. And again, in all the scripts I give people in the LCA, everything is written out word for word so that you know exactly what to say. There's no sense in you trying to guess at the end of a objection or at the end of a sales call, because that's the time when you need to be practiced, you need to be prepared the most. And so one of the simplest things you can do is have your objections written out beforehand. Now, if someone says, oh, that's too much money, I can't fit that in my budget, one of the follow-up questions that I'll ask them is typically, great, so just so I understand what you're spending on your health and fitness in the opposite direction right now, let's just take a second, if you don't mind, and let's talk about where you're spending your money right now. In the last month, let's do a quick calculation. How much would you say you've spent on coffee, fast food, alcohol, and cigarettes in a week? Let's just go one by one, because this is money that you're investing right now into being stuck. This is money that you are committed to keeping you in the position that you're in. And when we work together, you're going to get all this money back. So let's talk about it. How much money you spent on coffee last month? $5 a day at Starbucks, 5 times 30 is $150 you spent just on coffee. Okay. Let's talk about fast food. Are you spending $10 5 days a week on fast food? That's $200 because it's 10 times 5, 50, and then times 4, really times 4.3 is going to be around $215. You're spending $215 right there on fast food. Okay. Alcohol, they go out twice a week or once a week. Let's say they spend $30 each of those times that they go out and they only go out once a week. Well, that's another $120 right there. What have we found? Already we have $270. We have almost $700 a month on wasted money. And if they spend any money on cigarettes or other stuff, maybe eating out, dining out with friends or dining out with their couples as with their partner as well, there's going to be more money here. And so if you're offering a product that's like $500, $600, $700 a month, which is kind of the range for the top level programs that I have my clients offer for their online trainings on a per month basis, then what you're going to find, now you can go as much as $900 or $1,000 or $1,200 a month, but I'm talking when the beginner stages, that's about what you want to be offering on the high end. If you could show them that they're wasting this money already in being unhappy, in being unhealthy, in being overweight, and having low energy, and you could show them that they get that money back, and now they're going to save money being healthy. Now they're going to save money and be healthier and happier and have community around their goals. All of a sudden, offering your program for $600 a month seems like a steal. See, most people think they don't have the money, but what they don't realize is they're already spending that money. They're just spending it in the wrong place. Does this make sense? Good. So when this comes up, you just say, hey, it looks like you're spending $600 a month right now on staying stuck. My question is, are you willing to let go of that so that now you can be on the other side of it, be happy, be fulfilled, feel empowered in your health and fitness once and for all? What do you say? That is often such a powerful close because you take the price objection right out of the equation. Now, all of a sudden you see that their goal, which they've committed to, which they have been beating around the bush for 2, 3, 4 years in trying to achieve, is something they can have now by saving money. My friends, I hope that you use these strategies to close more online training deals. And if you're looking to get a free sales script from me on how you can close more online training deals, then go to sterlinggriffin.com/script. Be happy to give you my free script right there. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel so that I can give you more value on sales, more value on lead gen, retention, in your online training business over the long term. And thank you so much for being here. Comment below. What is something else that you're struggling with in your online training business you want me to make more content on? I'd love to make content which helps you in particular. And plus, I'll reply back to your comment. I love you, life changers. I'll see you next time. Peace, love,